What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. So today we'll be talking about how you as an international student can get cosigners for your student loans. So the first part of this video, I'll talk about what it means for someone else to cosign your loan. The second part of the video, I'll talk about the benefits of getting a cosigner. And the third part, I'll talk about how you can get a cosigner if you don't already have one, or if you're struggling to find a cosigner. We'll talk about that in the third part of this video. So there's a lot to talk about in this video, so let's get started right now. So I get a lot of questions from you guys about how you can get cosigners, and this is usually a question people ask every time I put out a loan video, especially international students. So I did a video recently where I talked about like or the best loan options out there, and you guys were like asking, hey, these loans require cosigners, how do I get a cosigner? So that's what we'll be talking about in today's video, how you can get a cosigner. But before we get started with today's video, I just want to say that I have done a lot of videos about loan options that don't require a cosigner. So if you're an international student and you don't have a cosigner, these options are for you. I'll link some of those videos in the description box. Please check them out, and I also have a link if you want to apply to Prodigy. You can apply. There's a link that takes you straight to their website. Everything is in the description box. So what we're talking about today are for people or for loans that actually require you to have a cosigner, but this is not the only option out there. There are loans that don't require a cosigner for international students. So I just wanted to put that out there quickly so you don't think you must have a cosigner to get student loans. So that said, let's jump right into today's topic. So first, what does it mean for someone to cosign your loan? I really think it's so important for you to understand what it means for you to get a cosigner. Now, if someone cosigns your loan, basically in simple English, it means the person is liable if you default. So basically, if you refuse to pay, like if you run away, the person has to pay. And this, I feel like this definition or understanding the meaning of co-signing is very important, because when you understand the risk associated, you would then understand why it is very difficult for people to find co-signers. But we'll get to that in a moment, right? So if you check on Google for the definition of co-signer, it's like the definition I saw, like the first one is a person who pledges to pay back the loan if you do not. That's it. That's the simple English. That's the simple grammar, right? If you don't pay back, this person has to pay. So think about that for a second. It means this person co-signing your loan is basically saying we are going into this loan agreement together. If doing default, I'm responsible, and that is such a big responsibility if the person is not someone you know or that knows you very personally. So I just wanted to make sure we all understand what risk is involved in co-signing someone else's loan. It's a big risk, and you understanding this definition would then know why it could be difficult for you to get a co-signer, or for anyone to even want to co-sign your loan. It's such a huge risk, and it's a risk like most people won't want to take. So I just wanted to share that. Now let's talk about the benefits of getting a cosigner. So I can think about two big benefits of getting a cosigner. First is you qualify for more loans. So by yourself, you likely don't qualify for those loans based on metrics and indices or whatever that the loan provider has created or has set up, right? They all have their metrics for knowing who checks the boxes and who are we going to offer loans to or approve, whose loans are we going to approve, right? By yourself, you likely don't qualify for these loans in the first place, right? So that is one, and it could be because of a lot of things. It could be because of your credit history, credit score. It could be because of your nationality and citizenship issues, your visa, whatever. By yourself, you likely don't qualify for these loans, but with a cosigner, you can qualify for a lot more loan options. And when you have many options, you can begin to get loans with better terms, if you get what I'm saying. So the first benefit is you qualify for more loans, more loan options out there for you. The second big benefit is you get better terms. You get low interest rates compared to someone that doesn't have a cosigner, right, on their loan. So because you have a cosigner who likely has a great credit score, that person likely is a citizen or permanent resident of that country, things like that, right? Banks and loan providers are willing to offer you better rates. So you're likely going to get lower rates compared to what you would have gotten if you were applying by yourself. Of course, there are a lot more benefits, but to me and for many international students, these are the two big benefits of getting a cosigner. So who can co-sign your loan and how can you even get this co-signer? Yeah, I know that's the real deal, right? I know that's what you're waiting for. So there are two ways or two kinds of people I believe can co-sign your loan. The first is friends and family. Now, let's talk about this because I believe this is the real, like, this is the best way for you to find a co-signer, and you understand why later. So friends and family, because of, think about that definition I gave at the beginning, right? About this person is basically saying if this student defaults, if this person runs away, if the bank can't find this person, I will be responsible. I will be held liable, basically. Uh, I'll have to pay this loan. So if you think about that definition or that meaning for a second, you understand why it has to be someone that is your family, your friend, or your mentor. So I'll say even friends and mentors, that could be hard. I don't know if I'll co-sign a loan for my friends, but like you need to think about family members that you have that can potentially co-sign your loan, right? So for a lot of these loan options or for a lot of these loan providers, that person has to, there are many requirements, right? You need to have a great credit score, credit history, whatever. Also, you need to be a citizen or permanent resident of the country. So if this loan provider is based in Canada, you need to have someone that has a PR or that is a citizen, that's a Canadian, to co-sign your loan. So that's one other thing you need to think about. So that said, who can co-sign your loan? It has to be a family member or a close friend or a mentor who is a citizen or permanent resident of the country where the loan is coming from. Usually maybe that's the US, the UK, Canada, any other country where the loan provider is based, or whatever they put on their requirements list, right? So now think about, like, if you have a parent, of course, I don't know, but if you have a parent, they are likely the best people to co-sign your loans. And this is even more important for undergrad students. There are very few options out there for undergrad students that don't have a co-signer. So think about a parent abroad. If you're applying abroad, you likely are. Think about your parents' friends. Think about your best friend. Think about someone that has been your mentor since you were a kid or since you were younger. Think about these people that can basically like vouch for you and say, hey, I'm putting everything on the line for this person. So that person has to really know you well and trust you. So think about all those options: family, friends, and like really close mentors. That is the best way, or the best group of people for you to approach to for you to approach to get a co-signer. So that said, I'll now talk about what I call professional co-signers. Let's say you've explored all these people, all these different people that I've talked about, and none of them is willing to co-sign your loan, or they don't have the ability to. There are professional co-signers that are companies, basically. So let's talk about that option quickly. So professional co-signers are those companies or platforms that either co-sign your loan or connect you with people that will co-sign your loan. So they can do either of these two things. Either they co-sign the loans themselves, the company co-signs the loan, or they connect you with people or somebody that will co-sign your own loan. So these are the two things that professional cosigners do. Now, before I continue, I just want to say there is there's a pro and there's a con, right? So it's important to me that you stay till the end of this part so you'll really understand the risk and everything. So there are pros and there are cons of getting professional co-signers, right? So the pro is you don't have to worry about getting a family member. In case you don't have such family members that are willing and able to co-sign your loan, these people will do it for you. These platforms or these companies will do it, so you don't have that problem anymore, right? So there are two popular companies that I know of, and I'll put their names on the screen. One is called Hire a Cosigner. That's what the company is called. The other one is called Cosigner Finder, right? So these are the two options I know. Now, before we continue, I talk in more detail about these two, know that co-signing, like using a professional co-signer, either of these two platforms I've mentioned, is costly. They're going to charge you. It's not free. It is not free at all. They're going to charge you very high rates of or fees for co-signing your loan. So that's something like there's no free lunch anywhere. They are not nice. They are not trying to be nice to you. They're going to charge you. You're going to pay the fees likely upfront before they even get into like the co-signing for you. So their fees, and there are things you need to pay basically. So just know that. Now let's get back to these two options I mentioned. So the two popular options I know: Hire a cosigner and cosigner finder, right? Cosigner finder. So those are the two options. So the good thing is these are platforms, they're online. You can basically apply easily on the internet. So the internet has everything. So you can basically apply online, and you don't need to do too much work there, right? Now, the con, the bad part is these two professional co-signers or platforms or co-signing platforms. I have read terrible reviews about them. The reviews are very negative. So I'll really say, like, do your research before going for any of these two options I've mentioned. They're the popular ones, but I've done some research on them, and I've read some very negative reviews, and I went on this portal where I read a lot of like negative reviews on one of them. So I'll put that link in the description box so you can go read for yourself and read about people's experiences. There's been a couple of allegations, so I don't know if they are true. You know the way the internet is, but these are negative reviews. So apply to these co-signers at your own risk. I am not in any way recommending them, but I just wanted to throw it out there that there are professional co-signers. Go read about them, see if they are the best, if anyone is a good fit for you, and then proceed. But I've read a lot of like negative reviews, but I'll still share the portal where I read those reviews. I'll put in the description box so you can read yourself, and go to other platforms as well and ask questions from people that have used any of these co-signer platforms, right? So those are the two popular options if you don't have family and friends. So all of that said, the very, 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 very best way for you to get a co-signer is to, get someone that knows you and is willing and able to co-sign. Getting a professional co-signer is like last resort, last option for you. So guys, I hope you found today's video helpful. I know it is hard. I know it is tough. Listen guys, all these things I'm sharing, I've gone through this process myself. I know it is tough to want to get a co-signer and not have anybody around you, no friends that are willing and able, and no family members that have, that can sponsor you. So it's hard, it's tough as an international student, but I hope you hang in there and try everything possible. I have a lot of videos on getting funding, asking for more funding, negotiating, more funding, all of that. So make sure you have explored every other option, before loans. And even for the loans, make sure you've explored the major options that I've shared on this channel that don't require a co-signer before you move on to getting a co-signer for loans that require it. So there are stages, right? First, try to get scholarships, then loans that don't require a cosigner, and then you can move on to loans that require a cosigner. I hope you hang in there. I just wanted to share these options for you to look into, do your own research before you commit to any of these ones, any of these professional cosigners that I've mentioned. So hope you like this video. If you want more videos like this, y'all know what to do, just subscribe right now. Go ahead, do it. It's free, guys. It's free to subscribe. Anyway, subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you want me to share more videos like this. Also, if you have questions about co-signing a loan or some of your struggles with getting a student loan and you want me to answer any questions, just put them in the comment section. I'll get to them. I hope you like this video, and I'll see you in my next video.